Now more than ever, the NBA has become a league of elite superstars, small forwards. And for the second time in 2 weeks, we got one on the move. It's Kawhi Leonard. Where's he going to wind up? Brooklyn verse. Let's get it.
Go, Bridgeside!
And welcome to another installment of Brooklyn Versus. I'm DB, this is Mike Boo, and this is Dr. Sports Science Philly Cags. And tonight we're going to be discussing Kawhi Leonard. He wants a trade from the Spurs, something which I once thought to be impossible with the great franchise that they have, but nonetheless he does. So Mike Boo, I'm going to start with you. The simplest question, where is he going to land?
All right, so I mean, it's so crazy, really, how this is all of it is unfolded. I think there's a lot of details we're going to get,
absolutely,
kind of as it rolls out, because it seems just like so weird. Because this is supposed to be like the NBA's best franchise, and everybody's usually so happy to play there. So something's going on, and I think he's gonna be out of there. And my pick is the Celtics, and there's a couple of different reasons. I think that the Spurs are going to want to keep them out of the conference. The Lakers, they might be able to put together the best package. But really, the Celtics are right there in terms of a package they could put together.
100%.
And I know they also did try to make a trade for him in the past, recently, which was rejected, I believe. But they'll probably just make a harder charge now.
Well, I mean, this is a guy that is highly desirable. I mean, some people might have taken a step back after the saga last year with him not playing. Some people thought he should have been playing, all this other stuff. But the bottom line is the year before, he was, I mean, we're talking about a top 3 to 5 player in the NBA the year before that, and the way he plays both sides of the ball, he's going to get a lot in return, and they should.
Oh, absolutely, and they'll need it too.
The Celtics have a lot to give.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Phil, I got a two-parter for you. All right, first, I'm going to quickly ask you where you think he'll land, but after that, I want to ask you the thing leading up to this trade, all these trade talks, is that Kawhi was hurt. We didn't know how serious the injury was. He said that it was too serious, he couldn't play. The Spurs seem to think that he could. So I just want to hear a little bit about what the injury was, and do you think that he was actually good enough to play and he just didn't want to?
Okay, well, I'll give you first the doctor. It would be, honestly, the Lakers seem like a nice fit, but I'm actually going to have to agree with Mike about the Celtics.
Sure.
I think they have the most in their arsenal, so to speak, to give back, because who's to say they don't try to ship Kyrie Irving over there? You showed that you played well without him.
Right.
You made Game 7 with Rozier. You know, you're worried about him being a free agent. That's the best guy you could probably trade for Leonard. Who knows if maybe you get an Irving for Leonard? Who else would the Spurs want than a guy like that to come right in after Tony Parker? So I got to agree with Mike. They got great players.
Right.
To go on the injury, it's hard to really say one way or the other because the whole thing was shrouded in so much mystery. With, it was quad tendonitis, then quad tendonitis, which is just like more of a chronic condition with it.
Made up word, I believe.
Yeah, and then complications can absolutely happen, especially in the quad. Things can, so to speak, calcify and get very hard with the tendonitis and very hard to move. I don't know if anything happened with that. The most intriguing thing that happened with that whole injury was that one time, they had a players-only meeting, and Tony Parker was very, very upset because Tony Parker tore his quad.
Yeah,
that's a much more significant injury than the one Leonard had. And Tony Parker came back quicker than the amount of time Leonard was out on the thing. So from afar, I would say he could play, but that means nothing because I don't know what was going on in the inner workings. I think the biggest thing was he didn't trust the Spurs medical staff, which is crazy.
Yeah, he left to go get different opinions.
And he just didn't trust anyone. There was a whole mystery about it. And what Mike said about rolling out, he hasn't even told the Spurs any of this yet. These are all just runs. He hasn't even talked to the Spurs. It's crazy. It's the drama keeps going with this.
No, absolutely. And personally, I also think it'd probably be the Celtics. Because, you also have Gordon Hayward coming back, so they have to make room somewhere on that roster. And you could ship 3 out to get Kawhi Leonard in there, and still be a complete team with a little bit of a bench. Because right now, they're going to have some kind of bench next year if they do nothing.
And listen, Leonard's already spoke out. He said he would like to end up in LA.
He did, I know.
And that's not going to really matter to the Spurs.
I was going to say, you think the Spurs care what Leonard wants?
Not at all.
At this point.
They don't care at all, but that's out there, so that's actually, they're the odds-on favorite right now.
Sure.
And clearly the Lakers, it's just funny. You see, the number 2 team, odds-wise, to win the championship next year is the Lakers.
Get out of here.
It's
unbelievable.
close. I mean, it's not even close.
saying, but still, that's.
But the moves that people are predicting,
Yeah.
the Lakers are going to do something for sure.
The-
Now, I don't
they
know
have
if it's
too
going to be
much room
LeBron
not
and be
to.
Leonard, but they have too much room. They're going to get somebody. But it would probably have to be Leonard first, right?
I agree.
And
I
then
agree.
guys would follow him. I don't think they're gonna trade him to LA. That's so much of a rivalry. They don't want to see this guy down the road.
Exactly.
Get him out of the conference, and they'll get a nice return.
And you don't know what happened between the Spurs and Leonard. We don't even know what's right, what's wrong. But regardless of who's right or who's wrong, like Mike said, you think the Spurs want to give Leonard what he wants to a rival team? So I think the
Absolutely
Lakers
not.
go down. However, if it goes to the Lakers, I think the chances of them getting LeBron goes up too.
Well, they're already. We just checked the
Yeah.
bookmakers earlier today. They are now the favorite to get LeBron James next year. So
I mean, but it's just something needs to be reworked here in the NBA.
100%.
In terms of reporting injuries. And, even it gets back, I think, about, DNP rests. And there needs to be just more information out there given.
Sure.
And the Spurs are very good. You said shrouded in mystery. They're very good at protecting information, and people don't even know what's going on.
Like
and
the
it
Pats,
makes
yeah.
Leonard, look really bad. You
Yeah.
see, who did you see? Stephen A. Smith going off on Kawhi
did
Leonard
today,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. The bottom line is we don't know enough information yet. We don't know what's going on there. Some information is going to come out. And when you think about Tony Parker versus Leonard, now I understand you're going to like that guy that comes back early to play. But you're talking about Tony Parker versus Tony Parker was never a top 3 or 5 player in the NBA.
Agreed.
This guy does not want to ruin his career. Now I'm understanding that's not endearing for his teammates. And if I was a teammate of his, I'd probably say Tony's a tougher guy,
Yeah.
right? But
You
the
want more
bottom
grit,
line is
but, yeah.
this guy's career has just only begun, and there's so much left. He wants to make sure that he's 100%.
That's why you can't you can't really put blame on either side right now because
Right,
you
right.
don't. I mean, injury is the hardest thing. You don't know, especially with pain, you can't quantify. If he's in pain, how can you just say it's not? I think you just part ways and Leonard goes on with his career, and you wish him the best.
It's not repairable.
And this, I know you
No,
wish
irreparable.
he goes on his best. So you wish him the best. No hard feelings, and the Spurs move on.
Oh,
the
there's gonna
same
be
way.
hard feelings.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying.
On both
I'm
ends,
just saying.
nobody
I'm
likes
just saying,
anybody
the
right
West-
now, and they
the
will
way,
not.
That's the only way to do it right now because, who knows if Leonard was really in pain? Should he rush back? That's a fair point. Maybe he shouldn't. He wants to make his money that all these people are making. You can't blame him for
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
But the thing
but
that bothers, we could have a whole Brooklyn verse about these super teams.
Yeah.
It's killing me.
It's
But
awful, dude.
That could be another Brooklyn verse.
But that's another thing.
Compared to other
Right,
sports?
we know he's going to wind up with a team that's going to have a chance to win
Yeah.
next year, and that's just how it is in the
Yep.
NBA right now.
Yep.
So, I'll end with this though. You mentioned the Lakers. Obviously, you don't want him to go to the Lakers, especially Popovich, because he hates trading guys in the conference. But that is a great young core, and they can get 3 phenomenal players back if that's what's in the cards.
Yep.
How about he goes to New York?
Nobody wants to go
Come
there.
to New York.
Who do the Spurs want that's currently on that team outside of Porzingis?
Frank.
They want him to play
They
with
want
Porzingis.
Frank.
Like
boy.
Courtney Lee, package it and send it.
Some people like Frank. I don't know. He could be something. He showed something
Yeah,
at the end
could
of
have
the
done.
season.
Could
It's
have
not going to
done.
happen.
Could have done.
Well,
Mitchell.
Boy can dream.
I'm going to end with this. I know one thing that's not going to happen. He's not going to be with the Knicks next year. So that's for damn sure. And this has been another Brooklyn Verse. Good night.
Go Bridgeside.
And good luck.
You're like a news anchor. You're more of a weatherman. I could say. What were your weatherman?
He's a sports guy. He's like Champ from Anchorman.
Donnie Spot.